Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. I wanted to start by taking a look at the 4-hour chart. Not much going on in the markets, basically no price change since the last video. So I wanted to take the opportunity to take a look here at the 4-hour chart with you and just to remind everybody of where we actually are on the Bitcoin chart. We have still on this chart a series of 1-2 setups, which is potentially quite bullish, because we had a wave 1 up, an impulse into the February highs, a correction down in our trend reversal area in a wave 2, another rally in a wave 1, then another drop in a wave 2, and another 1-2 setup. That is potentially quite bullish. So far we have reached on this time frame all the relevant trend reversal and support areas and captured them. I've taken the smaller ones off the chart that are not relevant anymore, and I didn't want to draw this red line. Taken them off the chart because I've only left the ones on the chart that are still relevant, because if we break below our most imminent support area, it doesn't mean we are all bearish. It just means that Bitcoin is likely to test the previous support area again. So we're going to take a look at that and why that is. But overall, from a projection point of view, this is how it should carry on if the most imminent support level is holding. And if indeed the current trend reversal area in which Bitcoin already is going to provide the jump-off point for a third wave rally. Disregard the time frame completely. If I could, I would delete it. This is how it should project higher, yeah, but certainly into the 50K region in this wave count. Now this could eventually go higher, but we will need to look at the subwaves. What I wanted to highlight is first of all the alternative wave count, because what happens if Bitcoin indeed breaks below our support area? Nothing I'm primarily looking for, but I always feel that people need to know about the alternative wave count as well. I do mention it from time to time, not in every video, because we don't need to focus on it as long as our primary scenario is working out. But of course, I want to give you our analysis of the alternative wave count as well, so that you have a full idea of what's expected if we break below support. Again, don't think it will happen. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not looking for it at the moment. It can, of course, happen. Yeah, and that bullish support level is at $26,280. If we lose that level, what happens? So obviously you see on this chart this 1-2 setup that I just mentioned, the latest one, the last one. We have our ascending trend line here, and we have relevant support at 28,318, 27,480 and 26,280. Below the 78.6 Fib level, I have to assume that this setup is breaking. Something quite normal in trading, okay? So it's worth knowing the alternative. Alternative wave count doesn't mean it's the unlikely one. The alternative wave count is purely the second most likely one. Bear in mind that our task and job as analysts is to identify 2 or 3 likely, highly likely scenarios out of an infinity of possibilities that there is. So we're already doing the work to boil it down to 2 to 3 likely scenarios, and this is the second most likely one. Certainly not an unlikely one. I always need to say that. So we would then have to assume that this wave 2 that I have currently that I'm counting it as finished on the 14th, 15th of June, right? If we break below the most imminent support area, I assume that this wave 2 is actually still running, and that we started an A wave down off this April high, yeah, then a B wave top and a C wave down in wave 2. So you can see here on this chart this flat correction, a more extended correction. Is it something I'm primarily looking for? No. Why is that? That's the case because the correction that started in April already came down into our trend reversal area. It already retraced 50%. Had it retraced only to the 38.2 retracement level, I would say yes. That was a weak wave 2, but because it was a healthy wave 2, I can count it as complete. Also, the move up was very aggressive and bullish and impulsive, so I'm happy with that as a wave 1, and the move down currently is very weak. And also time-wise, looking at the time proportions, it would mean that the wave 1 was completed in 4 to 5 weeks, whereas this wave 2 would take like 6 to 7 months. That's completely out of the proportion. Now, never say never, and it can happen, right? But it's certainly, for me, the less likely scenario. Not the unlikely one, but the less likely scenario. Now, let's zoom into the 1-2 setup here, the most imminent one. And we can see the rally in 5 waves to the top of the 13th of July. The wave 2 pullback happening right now. The wave 2 is expected to finish somewhere around 28 to 28.3k. Yeah, this is as precise as it can get. 28,320 is a key level and 28,100. So that's sort of what I would pay attention to. If it breaks below that, and it needs to, then we have support at 27,480 and 26,280. So just because I'm telling you we will get one more low, most likely, doesn't mean it's guaranteed. We are now in a price range where at any point price can turn around. We are in choppy price action. We are in an ending diagonal structure. That means we have to expect unexpected twists and turns, yeah, like on a roller coaster. So I encourage everybody not to get too involved with the micro count. I always show the micro count, but don't vibrate out of your chairs if the price breaks a resistance level on the nano level. It's pointless, okay? So if we're tracking here 30-minute chart and we break below above the first resistance, it will not be that, we cannot say the third wave has started. It will be too early. So there are plenty of other options here how this correction could unfold. But at the moment, obviously, and that's sort of the view, as long as we stay below 29,780, we should get another low. Assumption is currently that we are in this 5th wave. Yeah, I go to the 1 hour chart. That we're in this 5th wave of the Z wave. That means we're in the last wave down of this correction, which is unfolding as an ABC structure. And it could be that this B wave isn't finished yet. Yeah, and that's why I called the 29,780 level as relevant. If it's finished, we should follow through more directly to the downside. Yeah, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. If something happens, I typically always post it first for gold members on Discord and Telegram in our Signals channel. So if you want to be up to date, basically nearly 24 hours a day, not quite 24, we also need to sleep sometimes. But if you want to be kept up to date and check out the gold membership, you get daily signals, several intraday updates, in between videos as well, not only to Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also about various altcoins. So yeah, hopefully you like the update. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.